What's up, everybody? Damon here, and in today's gaming news, former Microsoft execs are piling on Xbox Game Pass, Keanu Reeves would love to be in Cyberpunk 2, and Borderlands 4 has a big day one patch. This is your daily fix. A former Microsoft executive insists Xbox Game Pass creates weird inner tensions. Now, last week, Bethesda Softworks' former Senior Vice President of Global Marketing and Communications, Pete Hines, said gaming subscription services like Xbox Game Pass are worth jack if the game developers who create content for them are not properly supported. Now, quote, subscriptions have become the new four-letter word, right? You can't buy a product anymore. When you talk about a subscription that relies on content, if you don't figure out how to balance the needs of the service and the people running the service with the people who are providing the content, then you have a real problem. Over on LinkedIn, former PlayStation exec Shawn Layden expressed support for Hines' comment, saying it hits this nail right on the head. Layden, a vocal critic of video game subscription services, added, "The question is not, is the service profitable for the platform? Is it healthy and helpful for the developers is what we need to ask." Layden's comment prompted a comment from former Xbox Game Studios VP Shannon Loftis, who provided some insight the benefits from coming from a former Microsoft employee. Loftis, who retired from Microsoft in 2022 after 29 years at the company, served as a manager on several Xbox projects, including Fable, Viva Pinata, Banjo-Kazooie, and Age of Empires. As a longtime first-party Xbox developer, I can attest that Pete is correct, Loftis said. While Game Pass can claim a few victories with games that otherwise would have sunk beneath the waves, Human Fall Flat, etc., the majority of game adoption on Game Pass comes at the expense of retail revenue unless the game is engineered from the ground up for post-release monetization. I could, and may someday, write pages on the weird inner tensions this creates. There has been much debate recently over the profitability of Xbox Game Pass, which Microsoft itself has said makes money even when factoring in the development cost of the games that launch within it, and the lost sales of first-party games, which people no longer need to pay individually for. Regardless, Xbox Game Pass remains a huge profit driver for Microsoft, which said in June that the subscription service had reached a new annual record of nearly $5 billion in revenue for the first time, following the launches of The Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered, Doom: The Dark Ages, and Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Back in 2021, Xbox boss Phil Spencer countered Game Pass doomsayers, saying, "I know there's a lot of people that like to write we're burning cash right now for some future pot of gold at the end. No, Game Pass is very, very sustainable right now as it sits, and it continues to grow." Moving on, details surrounding Cyberpunk 2 are scarce, but fans of Cyberpunk 2077 can rest assured that the game's biggest star is down to return if given the opportunity. Speaking with IGN while promoting his upcoming movie, Good Fortune, Keanu Reeves said that he wants to be part of the sequel to CD Projekt's 2020 game. "Absolutely, I'd love to play Johnny Silverhand again," Reeves said when asked if he'd be interested in revisiting his legendary rockstar terrorist character in Cyberpunk 2. Reeves' love affair with the Cyberpunk community began with this viral moment at E3 2019.
The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
Back in May, CD Projekt revealed that a sequel to Cyberpunk 2077 is officially in pre-production and will be called Cyberpunk 2. The studio also said that nearly 100 developers were already working on the game, which was previously referred to by the codename Project Orion. That number had grown to 116 by the end of July. Of course, before Cyberpunk 2, CD Projekt needs to finish up The Witcher 4, which isn't expected to be out until 2027 at the absolute earliest. And finally today, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford has said the inbound Borderlands 4 Day 1 patch does a lot, amid concern about the performance of the looter shooter. Pitchford responded to concern about Borderlands 4's pre-release performance on PC from some users on Twitter, confirming not only that there's a Day 1 patch on the way, but it sounds pretty much essential to play the game. It seems like Pitchford was responding to someone who was playing Borderlands 4 on older PC hardware. He said, "The Day 1 patch does a lot. That said, the expectation for using a below min-spec machine should be that the game is unplayable. That the game runs at all on your system is a miracle. Your specification doesn't indicate if you're on SDD or HDD, but that could also explain some of the hitching. It's a big, bold, new, seamless world, and I'm sorry to say that older hardware may not provide buttery smooth performance for the latest gen AAA games, as has always been the case since the dawn of PC gaming. A significant portion of the PC gaming audience does play on low-end hardware. Indeed, just last month, the developers of Battlefield 6 told Eurogamer they saw a substantial number of open beta players on or around the minimum recommended specs, with a number of users even playing below the minimum specs. In any case, Borderlands 4 has an official release date of September 12th across PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, with a Nintendo Switch 2 launch following shortly thereafter. Keep an eye out for IGN's review later this week. And that is your Daily Fix for Monday, September 8th. If you're looking for something to play right now that helps support a great cause, head over to Humble. Live now through October 7th, grab 8 incredible games for just $14.99, including WWE 2K25, Destiny 2 Legacy Collection 25, The Plucky Squire, and Return to Monkey Island. Every purchase supports Team Rubicon, a veteran-led humanitarian organization that unites military veterans, first responders, and civilians to deliver aid where it's needed most. By joining in, you're not just building your library, you're helping communities recover and rebuild. I'm Damon Hatfield, and for all your video game news, stay tuned to IGN.